I'm Jacob from the Sustainably Yours Homestead, where we're striving to live a little bit more sustainably each and every day, and we're inviting you to learn along with us. So if you haven't already, go ahead and click on that little subscribe button down there. It would really help us out. And while you're at it, go ahead and click on the notification bell. That way you can be the first to know anytime we release new content, which, as it turns out, is going to be a little bit more often. We just upgraded our internet. Up until this point, we have been on HughesNet. Now, I'm not going to bash HughesNet. They pretty much provided us with exactly what they had advertised. It just didn't really fit our family. We have 4 kids, and man, they roll through that data quick. And as soon as you hit your data cap, HughesNet throttles you back. And so pretty much by the end of the first day of a new billing cycle, we were back down from 20 megabit per second, which is what HughesNet advertises, to like 1 to 3 megabit per second, distributed among a TV and 2 phones and a computer or something like that. But we had the opportunity to upgrade through our electric service co-op. They ran fiber out this direction, and so now we are very well connected. We're getting 100 megabit per second upload and download speeds with unlimited data. So a video that a week ago would have taken anywhere from a day and a half to 2 days of straight upload time, now I can upload it in about 10 minutes. So before we upgraded, I really didn't do a lot of kind of like day in the life type of content. Leave me alone, kitty. Would you stop it? No! Leave your claws in! Yeah, no, leave him in. I can't. Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, uh-huh. What? Kitty. Still don't like you. So, whereas before, I really didn't do a lot of day in the life type of videos, because by the time I filmed it and then edited and then uploaded, the video would be like 2 or 3 days old, so it seemed kind of pointless. But now I'm going to try to do something a little closer to daily videos. I don't know if it will be daily, but hopefully at least every 2 to 3 days or something like that. Stop, kitty. I'm not playing with you. Now, with that being said, the videos are probably going to be a little shorter because I'm not very good with small talk. I'm not good at blowing smoke. That's going to take me a little bit of practice. But I am excited that we're going to be able to start bringing you a little bit more of our daily activity. Like today, I'm going to be harvesting my elephant garlic. Now, I came out several days ago and I noticed that the garlic was beginning to yellow, and so I knew it was about time to dig these up. I was going to do it that day, but right in here, there's a little bit of it still left, I noticed a big, huge chunk of mushrooms. These were black staining polypore mushrooms, Myripolis cystinae. And they are an edible species of mushroom if you get them early enough. These are not any good. But if you get to them early enough, then they're supposed to make like a beef substitute. You can grind them up and you can make ground beef out of them. Make mushroom burgers or something like that. You can use the tips and make mushroom jerky. And what I'm probably going to end up doing with mine in a later video, you can take the whole mushroom, all the parts of it, and you can make a stock out of it, like a vegetable stock, or in this case, I guess, a mushroom stock. So I've got a whole bunch of this in the house, and we'll come back to that in a later video, I suppose. For now, let's get to the garlic. Now, you may recall in an earlier video, these are our 2 little garlic patches, and if you remember, some of my garlic I let go ahead and flower out. And then on some of them, I harvested the scapes before the flower had a chance to pop open. And I'm wondering how that affects the size of the garlic cluster underground, because I've heard that if you harvest the scape before it flowers, then the plant is able to take a lot of the energy that it would have put into the flower and push it down into the root system, and you'll end up with bigger cloves of garlic. So we're going to dig these up, and I want to kind of separate them out based on whether they grew scapes, and then if they did grow scapes, whether I harvested them or left them to flower. And we're going to compare the size of our garlic clusters. I tried digging right here, but there used to be a tree growing here, and I cut it down, and the root system along with some of the trunk is still underground. That's actually what this mushroom was probably growing from. So it's still blocking me down there, so I'm going to come around to the other side. As I dig around here, I'm being sure to watch for these little things here. They are actually little bulbils or scale bulbs or something like that. Hold on, let me find one. Yeah. They grow off of the sides of the garlic bulbs, or in this case, elephant garlic bulbs. And I learned from a video that I watched the other day. I can't remember who it was. I believe it was someone from Team Over the Pond. I will definitely go back and find that video, and I'll put a link, probably a card. So if you would like to watch that video, you can. But this is a little baby garlic plant waiting to happen. If you take this little scale bulb, just pop it off there and plant it. According to the video that I watched, year 1 you'll get a little garlic plant, but it's not going to form a big bulb cluster. But starting around year 2, you'll get some nice harvestable garlic. So we're going to hold on to these. I've found a bunch of them. I'll show you later on in the video. But I found a bunch of these. We're going to hold on to them, and we're going to plant them for a future crop. Man, look how close together all of this stuff was growing. We didn't plant this here. It was here when we moved in. So I don't imagine these are optimal growing conditions for garlics. So this year's comparison may not be the most representative of the way garlic actually grows if you snip the scapes before the flowers bloom. But we'll take a look at it, and we'll kind of log the data, and we'll try again next year and do a bit of a comparison. Kind of been able to dig down. Something that I'm noticing, there are a lot more bulbs underground than I had plants above ground. And a lot of the bulbs that don't have plants coming up above ground look like this. They've developed more like an onion. More on that thought as we go. Something else that I've noticed, see there's another one. Something else that I've noticed is that the plants where I snipped the scapes off early, the foliage died back on those a lot more quickly than the ones that I let go to flower. The ones that I let flower, the flowers are still good on them. They still have some green in the leaves. Everything else is pretty much just dead for the season. See, this is one that I snipped. It is completely just dead. Whereas, see the flower, we still have a decent amount of green there. I imagine there are some of you who are used to growing garlic and you're going, yeah, what's the point? But I've never grown it before, and I don't really know how it behaves, so I'm making all of these observations kind of for the first time, I suppose. And a lot of this is as much for my personal notes as anything else. So here's the harvest. Have some bulbs under there that I'll show you in just a second. Some more here. And then these are all the little bulb scales that I'm going to end up replanting. There's a bunch of them, Now as far as bulb size goes, these are the bulbs from the plants that I allowed to go to flower. These are the bulbs from the plants, and I couldn't, some of them it was kind of difficult to tell, but okay, you notice the plants that still have flowers, they're still very green. Just a few dead leaves down at the bottom. The plants that I harvested the scapes, they're mostly dead with a little bit of green up close to the top, and for most of them I was able to locate the spot where I snapped the scape off of. So I'm pretty sure, at least for the most part, these are plants where I harvested the scape from. And I would say just from looking, on average, these do appear to be a little bigger. Now that is not a definitive scientific study by any means, but it is one piece of anecdotal evidence to store away and build from. I haven't done any real research into the topic, but I've seen a few videos on YouTube about the difference between harvesting scapes and not harvesting scapes, and I've seen pretty much both opinions. A lot of folks say that harvesting before they go to flower allows the plant to convert energy from flower to bulb. And then I've seen videos from people who said that when they harvested the scape, this is more like what they ended up with. This is shaped more like an onion than a garlic cluster. Now my take on this, just from my own observation here, I think most of these onion-shaped bulbs are from either young plants, like for these, they didn't even have any foliage above ground. I mean, that's a large one, but I don't know, maybe it did. Maybe it just got cut off at the top. But most of these, they didn't even have any foliage coming up from them, so that would indicate to me that these are probably pretty young plants. And then we take a look at these. These had foliage coming up above the ground, but they never even attempted to put up a scape. And a lot of those have the same type of bulb. Some of them do appear to have cloved out a little bit, like this one, but not nearly as much as the plants that attempted to put up scapes. So I'm thinking that a lot of the plants that make the more onion-shaped bulbs are probably a combination of young plants and plants that, due to competition, because remember how close together these things were planted, so due to competition they just haven't been able to fully develop. So to me, I'm thinking it's probably not a bad idea to go ahead and cut those scapes before they flower out. And now I'm getting into some new territory because I've never harvested garlic before, and I know I need to dry it or cure it, but I've never done that before. From what I've read, what I want to do is take all of my plants, I want to leave the stalk and the leaves on, and we're going to tie them together, and then we'll hang them in a dark, cool room. Make sure it's nice and dry, and let them sit for, I don't know, I'm going to have to look up the amount of time it takes for the bulbs to dry. But I'm not gonna wash them or anything like that. We're just gonna tie them up the way they are and dry them. There are a few that got damaged when I was while I was digging them up. These, I'm just gonna put them in a separate pile, and we'll eat those fresh. So I guess now we have quite a bit of elephant garlic that we're gonna have to find something to do with. I'm sure we will eat a lot of it. I'm a big fan of the garlic. We'll probably allow some of it to dry and put it in storage, and then some of it's gonna go back in the ground next year, especially some of those smaller onion-shaped bulbs. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If so, please give us that thumbs up, subscribe, leave us some comments. Let me know what you would do with this elephant garlic. And if you haven't already, be sure to ring that notification bell so you'll know when to be back for more daily, sustainable living.